Well, yesterday I showed you how local swim schools are getting into gear for summer. When you look at the statistics, you can see why it's so important, especially for people of color. Research from the USA Swimming Foundation and the University of Memphis shows 64% of black children in the U.S. cannot swim. In white kids, that number drops to 40%. I dug a little bit deeper into that trend. Why do so many racial disparities exist when it comes to swimming and drowning deaths? Kelsey Waits and fellow researchers at the U of M are trying to figure it out. Waits says it's a nuanced, complicated discussion with so many troubling trends across the board.
We know American Indians have the highest drowning rates in the country. White individuals, for example, are more likely to drown in pools, whereas American Indians are more likely to drown in open bodies of water.
When it comes to current trends of drowning deaths among black people, history may play a role.
Segregated swimming pools in the 1960s, which prevented the black community from being able to access pools once they were privatized. And so how has that maybe continued forward as previous generations have been unable to access swimming?
In fact, a USA Swimming Foundation study shows that if a parent doesn't know how to swim, there's only a 13% chance that their child will learn how to swim, causing those generational issues to persist. Folks here in the community aren't waiting for those disparities to magically get better. They are taking action. Where I'm standing right now is the future home of the V3 Center, which will offer the community a variety of activities, including swimming lessons.
So this right here is our instructional pool.
Malik Rucker is with V3 Sports and took us on a tour of the site just off of Plymouth Avenue.
This is the basement of the therapy pool.
When it comes to swimming, he says the historical scars run deep.
White-only pools, the segregated pools, or where the black folks were getting in the pools and then people were throwing acid in the pools.
The work to undo that trauma continues here. Phase 1 of V3 will include a 25-meter instructional pool set to open next year. Phase 2 will introduce a 50-meter Olympic-sized competition pool. He says having that space to learn and embrace swimming on the north side for both kids and adults will make a difference.
This is how we can add value to North Minneapolis and to be able to combat some of the drowning disparities and health disparities in our community.
So many things I wasn't able to get into with this. One thing they're looking at is competitive swimming.
Right.
So you have black people getting into competitive swimming. Competitive swimming is a feeder to lifeguarding, and there have been studies that show that black lifeguards discriminate less against black swimmers.
Okay.
So that could save more lives if you have more black lifeguards out there. So there's so many interesting little nuances and little factors that go into this.
Yeah, 64% though, still a shocking number.
Yeah.
Thanks for that story, Jason.
No problem.